Hello everyone, I am here, and you know what, it's about time I had some kind of catchphrase or some line, because I see Chris Stuckman tells you all that you get Stuckmanized, and Phil DeFranco tells everyone that they got filled in. So what do I have? I know, everyone, all of you, you just got stuffed. WrestleMania's coming up. We've got the main event, Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns, finally confirmed and announced after Fastlane, which was Roman Reigns versus Daniel Bryan for that contendership on the line, and Roman Reigns winning. It was probably the best singles match Roman Reigns has had in his career since the Royal Rumble last year. I think that Daniel Bryan did a damn good job with him. He was so generous, he gave him a lot. It was a very entertaining match visually to watch. It's just a shame that where the crowd were kind of going with it, that probably hurt the match. But Roman Reigns has won. He has beaten one of the most respected and most well-liked and most popular people in the company. And it begs the question, why did the guy that is the most well-liked, most popular and most respected by the fans, not the guy that won the match, to face Brock Lesnar? Why is it the other person? Because obviously, as we've touched on before in my videos, in other people's videos, like NYG for Life, like Truth Slayer, like other people like Kyle, we've all said the same thing, and that really is this. He is the handpicked guy. Roman Reigns is the handpicked guy. He is the guy that they have highlighted to be the successful one. They highlighted him. He was handpicked pretty much from the time he was signed in the company. There was rumblings from when he was signed in the company that he was going to be the next guy, and because of that, they are determined to make him the next guy. Doesn't matter if the crowd are there or not, they were going to make him the next guy. And as we now head into this match, you know, with WrestleManias and WrestleManias have passed, the main event needs to feel like this grand Clash of the Titans, you know, fucking Titan versus Colossus feel to it. You know, it has to feel like something big. When I think of WrestleMania main events and big WrestleMania matches, I'm thinking of Hogan and Andre. I'm thinking of Ultimate Warrior and Hulk Hogan. I'm thinking of, goodness me, Stone Cold Steve Austin versus The Rock. I am thinking of that kind of magnitude, that kind of level. And I think about Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar, and it's not at that level. Now, it's not really Brock Lesnar, because I think that what they have done with Brock Lesnar has been fantastic this year, or this, you know, year going into WrestleMania. They have made him look like a killer. He destroyed Big Show. He beat The Undertaker's streak in a shock. He beat John Cena in one of the most one-sided matches I've seen in wrestling in a long time. He had that phenomenal match, triple threat match at Royal Rumble, which, you know, that was absolutely just wonderful. He has looked like an absolute killer, an absolute monster, the human version of the Red Hulk, the Incredible Hulk, and Doomsday rolled into one, and it shits out Brock Lesnar. That is what he is to me, and he is awesome, and he has that presence, and he's got all of that going in there. And to me, then if you put someone in there with him at WrestleMania for the belt, that person also needs to be built up in a similar or like fashion. And Roman Reigns, last time at SummerSlam, I thought he was on the way. When he wrestled Randy Orton, I thought that was a good start. I felt that the crowd appeared to be behind him. They were kind of gravitating towards him a little bit more and a little bit more, though Dean Ambrose was probably more popular, but that's another thing we go to later. And he was on his way there, and then unfortunately he got injured, and I know a lot of people say absence makes the heart grow fonder, but in this case it really didn't, because he's injured, and I think that hurt him in a sense that he needed one more feud, one more big moment, or a few more big moments before the Royal Rumble to help get him there. That one thing that kind of just takes a guy kind of circulating here to going right up there. And Triple H, when he was struggling back in the day, it was Mick Foley that shot him up there. He had that Hell in a Cell match. He had that Royal Rumble match. He beat Mick Foley at his own game, and I felt that made Hunter a very credible main event guy for a time. Steve Austin, he had the same thing when he was in there with Bret Hart and he bled and he refused to tap out. That moved him up there. Randy Orton didn't have that credibility for a long time until Mick Foley got in there with him and he had that match with him at Backlash. That moved him up there. pardon me, Roman Reigns hasn't had that kind of moment. And I know it's a PG product, but he hasn't had that match or that kind of moment, that moment where fans really buy into him as a legit tough guy and a badass motherfucker. And he hasn't got that right now. He's, I would believe him if he come up to me and said, I'd kick your ass. Because look at him. But there's that thing missing there right now. And it hasn't helped with these promos that he's been doing. Obviously, I've ripped on all of them. From saying he was going to cock his fist up and make it rain, to what was the other one, being faster than a speeding bullet, pew! All of that stuff. That just makes him look like a laughing stock. Then you look into the Royal Rumble, and I thought for sure if Roman Reigns is going to win, he should be. This is what I would have done personally. Don't bring Daniel Bryan back if he's not going to go over and he's not going to win, because the fans are going to shit on that. Roman Reigns, perhaps he should have been the number one guy in the Royal Rumble, and he would have had to have literally battled and fought and gritted through and had to really fight to win the Royal Rumble, and even put him in some adversity and have him win. I think that might have helped him a lot more than what they did do with him, because on the same show you had Brock Lesnar wiping everyone out and destroying everybody and holding the title and looking like a monster. Surely the guy that wins the Royal Rumble should look like someone that is equal to that. And you should think, well, he managed to outlast 29 other people in the Royal Rumble. He had this adversity and he comes out and he survives it. This is a guy that could probably survive the onslaught, the juggernaut of Brock Lesnar. They didn't do that. He didn't do anything in the Royal Rumble. He did absolutely shit in the Royal Rumble. He won it, and the fans shat on it, and we all know how that worked. The fans booed, the fans hated it. They spat it back out, didn't like it. They booed him and The Rock. Now you lead up to Fastlane, and a lot of people are saying, well, turn him heel. Bryan should win. And I don't think turning Roman heel was the right idea. I think that Roman really is another match away from really kind of getting there. I think the one guy that he should go in there with, and this is just my opinion, was not Daniel Bryan. The guy that he should have been in there with is Triple H. I think that Triple H was his next logical feud if he was going to go through the Authority, and he beat Randy Orton and he's going for Seth Rollins. Then at some point he should have gone for Triple H, and maybe Hunter should have been the guy to help elevate him. Now we all know how that works out with Triple H a lot of the times. He can be a bit funny. Whenever they've had him in the program with a guy that's on the rise, Hunter is presented in a way that harms the other guy, and that can be, just ask Randy Orton how that worked out for him. And that can be kind of debatable, but I think that they needed to do that. They needed to sacrifice Hunter to get Roman up there, and then that never happened, and I think that has hurt Roman Reigns even more. And the fact that he, from a skill set, isn't completely ready. Yep, he's tall. Yep, he's muscular. He has a lovely tattoo on his body. He's an athletic guy. He's got a football background. He's got the heritage. But skill-wise, microphone skill-wise, and projecting the personality-wise, that's not there. And especially when you need to be at that WrestleMania main event level, right now it's not there. And I know that they are trying so hard with him right now. Trying really hard with him right now. And it's a shame that they don't do this with everybody, because, the roster will be so much deeper right now. But the point is, you can even tell, I knew what this Bryan-Roman Reigns match was about. They were going to have the guy that we all respect, like, and want to win and want to see in that spot. They were going to have him be the guy that kind of verbally puts him over as well as physically puts him over. And when I saw that promo today on Raw, when Bryan came out and he was talking like that, and he's like, I was one of those guys that didn't believe into you, but now I buy into you and I respect you, and shaking your hand and all of that. When I see that happening, I think fans in the arena felt the same way I did. I don't want to hear you talk like that, in a way. I don't want to hear you talk like that. This comes off as fake. It comes off as insincere. Unless they're turning Bryan heel, that's the only reason that could work. And you kind of have this thing where the guy that the fans wanted, Daniel Bryan, has been shoved out for the guy that the company wants, Roman Reigns. And I don't think they're doing Roman a good service, to be honest. A lot of people are going to talk about how badly used Daniel Bryan has been. In this respect, I think that Roman hasn't been... If you're going to make Roman your guy, you need to have a serious project and a plan to get him there. And I don't think they really have had that much of a plan, to be honest with you. And now you have one half of the main event who is a super juggernaut onslaught fucking baboon, god sword off monster. against a guy that isn't quite there just yet. And that's not what you want. You want to have a guy that you could believably have in there beat Brock Lesnar. And I don't know how many fans actually view that. And Roman Reigns is supposed to come out of this as the next John Cena or the next Hulk Hogan. And is he really going to be? I don't know. Not right now. Not with where he is at. And to be honest with you, what would be wrong with having Bryan being the transitional guy? Have Bryan and Brock Lesnar wrestle each other at WrestleMania. Have Roman Reigns in there with Triple H in the semi-main. Build Roman Reigns up to SummerSlam and then do it at SummerSlam if not. Or maybe next year's WrestleMania. Build him up there. Better yet, because I know I'm not just biased to Daniel Bryan, there was another person far more over, far more popular and far more edgier and caught catching on with the crowd, and that was Dean Ambrose. Ambrose was getting a much stronger reaction, warranting more fans' attention and demanding fans' attention than Roman was all throughout the summer into the autumn, and then they just fucked with the guy, and they've hurt that. So I mean, and I think Ambrose versus Brock Lesnar would have been very, very interesting to watch, but they're not going there. And now I come out of this and I think that we have a main event that isn't particularly strong right now. They've got 5 weeks, and to be honest, they just need to have Roman Reigns obliterate everyone and avoid doing promos written by Vince McMahon. That's what they need to do. That is what I feel they need to do. Anyways, I am going to stop. You let me know what you think. You let me know how you feel. How do you feel about Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar? I will watch it. I'm not as pumped as I would be for it. Maybe this will change in 5 weeks, and fingers crossed it does. Is anyone else feeling this about the main event? Is anyone feeling this main event? Anyone also catch that thing with Seth Rollins and Stephanie McMahon? Way to book a guy that's going to be your next top heel. When he was trying to talk and she completely emasculated him. It was like seeing What Stephanie practically did was tell Seth to get his balls out. Go on, let your balls drop. And she went like that. That's how you're going to book one of your top heels. I mean, come on. Anyways, I am out of here. I'm going to stop. Let me know what you think. Let me know how you feel. If you haven't already, hit the like, leave a comment down below and share. Take care, and also hit that subscribe button.